Hello and welcome to Michael's vlog. Today's March 30th and you're watching the 40-day fast series where I'm not gonna eat any pork, beef, or chicken for the entirety of the Lenten season. Since it is March 30th, we're about more than halfway there toward in our journey towards around the 20th of April. So we're about to culminate the Lenten season, and I hope everyone's have been having a good journey. But so we still have ways to go. An update for our food consumption today is we're still going pretty strong, but a lot of the consumption today has been utilizing the alternatives that we do have in the industry, meaning that I did spend a lot of time today outside of the house, so we're kind of forced because there was a lack of preparation on my part. I apologize. To prepare food, so we did have there was a lot of involvement of eating in the industry. I'd like to have a special shout out to McDonald's because they're the only place I can buy a burger which has fish in it or things that aren't chicken or pork or beef, and they're literally the only thing that they're literally the only place I've been able to buy burgers from on a like quickly this whole time. If it wasn't for McDonald's, usually I just eat at some peanuts or some mixed nuts that you can buy from any convenience store. So, two things I'd like to get in today, or kind of three things. Let's start with the not two things. First, let's start with what we started yesterday. What did we appreciate and not really appreciate today? What we could have improved on. Let's start with something that we didn't really appreciate. Um, Today I did spend a lot of money. I would consider. I've developed a habit of being very averse when it comes to spending money. So I'm not very comfortable spending money in any situation, and this is it just heightens my senses a bit because I spent a bit of money, but I think it was justified in a sense. But we'll talk about that later. But the point is, I did spend a lot today, but I want to say that they're good decisions, but that will prove itself later on. Second is, I didn't really plan the day out today. I guess every day should be planned out so that you're gonna retain effectivity. But the question is, or what it's recommended to be is that your day should be flexible. Your schedule shouldn't be exactly rigid, because when your schedules are a bit too rigid, when one thing goes awry, the whole schedule goes awry. But there's a big difference between having a rigid or having a flexible schedule and having no schedule at all or having no plans at all. And I guess it's always important to have plans so that you can get something done every day. Without that, you're gonna be very unproductive and you're gonna be kind of lost and wandering through the entire day. So we don't want that to happen. I guess one good way to do that is just to um, have something that you really do want to accomplish in the day. Always try to break down your goals or your projects into small pieces you can do bit by bit so that they don't all accumulate into one really big thing. One thing I did appreciate today is that there was a time that I did take for myself. There's a moments of self-reflection that we took today. And I guess that is important every day, but maybe a bit more important on other days when you're less busy. What happened was we had a plan to go out with our group of friends, and when the time came, a lot of the people uh, canceled, and because a lot of people canceled, the rest of the people canceled as well. And I guess that happens sometimes. It does happen, unfortunately, but everyone is busy, and I guess that's something that everyone should understand when it comes to these situations. Everyone's mature enough to understand that everyone's busy. So I hope no one takes it personally if you ever had something like that when you decided to go out to the group of friends and no one showed up. um, I guess it's kind of irrelevant um, how much time you spent planning it. Of course, unless it's a whole bonanza. If you like, you're going to like travel to some island or a different country. But if it's just plans that you made over a week or two, don't expect people to be very, uh, I don't know, strict with their response, because everyone has work, everyone has things to do, everyone's busy, and we should always understand when things come up. So, what did I spend my money on? In the time of self reflection, I just spent some time in a coffee shop, and of course, you need to kind of pay to sit in a coffee shop. I'm not sure. I think that's common practice no matter where you go. It's kind of rude to go into an establishment and sit around and not buy anything. So, hell, just buy something. So, we bought some chocolate, drink, whatever, just so that you can sit in there. And what did I spend the rest of the money on? So that's food, and the rest of it was also spent on what I would consider self improvement. I bought a notebook, which is something interesting that I found in National Bookstore. National Bookstore is it's a bookstore, but it really carries every office supply that you need. They have this new station, or I haven't been to any mall in months. So going back to National Bookstore, there's this station where you can now create your own notebook. I guess it's kind of smart now because they kind of realize that notebooks don't sell out because sometimes people don't like the kind of lines that you have in your notebook. So what they have is something like this. It's very nice and I like it. I hope that I can use this very well. So what you could do is that you just buy the cover. So these are the covers. Then you buy the paper inside. Then they just bind it for you for free. I think that's very neat, and I think that's very smart. So what I did here was that the first half is with lines. I'm not sure if you can see it. Then the second half has no lines because I have a friend which said that I don't like notebooks with lines because my thoughts are constrained. And sometimes I can definitely feel that. So that's why I guess it's good to have a notebook. And it's good to decide what kind of notebook you have because no one knows how you take notes better than yourself. They also have one more kind, the kind that has dots. I'm not exactly sure how people use the ones that have dots on them because to me it just looks like a Cartesian plane, and I'm not that much of a math nerd to want to have a Cartesian plane and take notes on that. It feels a lot better to just have unconstrained thoughts on blank pieces of paper. But I don't know, that's my take. I hope that I get to using this notebook well. This notebook cost me about $5. I don't think that's too bad, but I guess it really comes in with if I do utilize the notebook well. If I end up not using the notebook at all, it's probably not gonna be worth 250 pesos or $5. But if I do end up using it a lot, I guess it's a good investment. So I don't know. We'll find out as time passes, and we'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Probably. God bless everyone. I hope you're enjoying Lent. And I don't know. How's your fasting going?